Asshole.
There we go. And now we got our nice R rating thanks to Mr. King there. Gee, thanks. All right, we are live and on air. What's going on, everyone? Hank Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. Another unbelievable day here in Chateau Ghetto, and it's time for a smartphone photographers community hangout on air. We like to call this point and shoot. Appreciate you guys coming in and checking this out this week. And many thanks to my man right here, Mike Sweeney, for hosting the last 2 weeks, as I've had some things come up that I wasn't able to host. So appreciate you doing that, my man.
Glad it worked out.
Anyway, this community, we get together every week and talk about different ways to become a better smartphone photographer. Believe it or not, the cameras in your phone are pretty daggum good, and no, they're not DSLRs, but if you know what you're doing, you can get some really nice quality out of these cameras. We have challenges every week where we come up with some weird topic or something off the wall, and everybody just takes a shot of said challenge, and we take little votes on it, and we get a lot of feedback every now and then. And this week we have a challenge based on patterns. Our winner last week was a back-to-back winner. He wanted to submit a landscape challenge, but I vetoed that because we've seen landscapes before. So we just went with something random in one of our posts, and patterns was listed in there. And I want to say the person that suggested patterns actually won this week. But we'll check that out here in a minute. First, let's let these guys introduce themselves. We have our typical Michaels from the community and our other moderator, Mr. Robert. We'll start off with Mr. Michael King. How you doing?
Well, that should answer your question.
Oh, I'm going to start calling you Black Cloud King.
It's just as we get ready to go, we've had about 3 tornado warnings, 4 severe thunderstorm warnings, a flash flood warning.
Jeez, man.
And that's just the beginning. The worst is going to be in at 1 o'clock. Other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
That's great.
Still not digging coming to Texas nowadays. Listening to you, holy cow.
Well, this is unusual. We don't get cold fronts in July.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Apparently you do now.
It's that polar vortex thing again.
Welcome to King's World. Appreciate you coming out and braving the elements, man.
Oh yeah, I'll be on as long as I can. Gotcha. I can't promise you, but I'm on. I got batteries, so I can switch over and be back on again.
That'll work. Next up, my man Mike Sweeney. How you doing?
Doing well. Doing very well. And I'm sitting here trying to get Reflector to work so I can do a little show and tell of some iOS 8 stuff.
Oh, you've been playing with the beta, okay?
Yeah. We're on beta 4 right now.
Nice.
I hope beta 4 is better than beta 4 of Yosemite, because I've had 3 major crashes today.
Not that you'd notice.
Unbelievable. All right, next up, my man Robert Knight. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Busy as a bee.
Busy as a bee. Well played, sir. Well played.
But enjoying the nature's air-conditioned weather as of late.
Yeah, that's been a nice break for you up there. I gotta give you your props on that one.
Waking up and it's like fall in the morning and doesn't get above about 70 in the afternoon. Nice weather.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Works for me.
Oh yeah.
I might want to turn these alerts off on my phone because I really don't want to hear that in the broadcast. All right. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this week's challenge. As I said earlier, we proposed patterns, and as usual, we like to set it as a max of 3 shots. Don't want to have 50,000 shots in there to try to weed through and vote on. So take your 3 best shots and put them in there. And it was based on pattern and however the community wanted to interpret it. Now, I saw a theme for the most part, but then it started to change as the week went on with what people were submitting. So I'm going to try to share my screen and show off some of the highlights of the community. So cross your fingers as we had a new update to Google Hangout on Air, We're hoping I don't crash. And share. Do you see my screen okay?
Yep, and I see my picture right off of that.
All right, very good.
God,
Okay.
most of so many bricks.
All right, so somebody is somebody's seeing a pattern here.
Yeah,
So
no kidding.
it was a pattern challenge, but it really tripped me out that everybody was thinking bricks of some sort or something with architecture, because most of these high-rise buildings have pattern windows and whatnot.
Then here comes Robert Knight and throws in that tank.
But and that's
He
the
likes
thing.
that tank.
It
He likes
was
that
neat.
tank.
It's cool.
That's the thing. It was neat to see some of the other stuff that popped in here. I want to highlight Miss Liana here. This was one of the first ones I saw. Liana Lahua. I think she normally uses an iPhone 4. Nope, iPhone 5. iPhone 5. And did she give us any
she's a
other
Mac user.
information? She did not give me any other information about said shot. But this one caught my eye because of the pattern sort of gets distorted by this here. I guess that's a shadow from another building across the way. Is that what you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Reflection. Plus, I think she was also taking a shot through. She was in a building, taking a shot of that building, of the reflection.
Okay, makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
If you look closely, because this week I did something that I don't normally do, which is kind of blow everything up large. So I didn't vote on my phone. I actually voted from the desktop, and I blew everybody's picture up large to really look at it. And I kind of understand the flip to black and white. Probably to kind of shadow, take away out her reflection that was probably casting in the window itself. So, but she's shooting through glass, at glass, getting a reflection of more glass.
Yeah, and a bunch of light battling there, right?
Right.
So going that black and white sort of combats all of that extra light. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see, look like inside of her, where she's shooting from. Yeah, it's cool. Liana's good.
Yeah.
Well, she is.
She knows what
What do you
she's doing
expect?
for sure.
What do you expect? Pixel Core.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Mr. Sweeney?
Well, it's a good attempt. So this kind of bugs me, and what bugs me is the white sky at the top and the star. And I think she's got competing elements here that don't work well together. I think if she had cropped it down just below the star and then straightened it out so that the pattern was a little more flat to me, the viewer, and then really cranked on the contrast, I think it'd be pretty interesting, actually.
Of course, I agree with the contrast. I do. You think with more contrast it might have helped here with this blown out sky?
Perhaps. But right now it's more of a gray scale, and that's just a pet peeve of mine.
But
But
like black
I certainly would crank up the contrast.
Right. Right.
I do like the receding pattern. So the windows within the window, how it goes down to the right hand corner.
Right. Right here.
And part of me wants to crop the hell out of this image, lose the top, lose the right side, up to that last repeater. Keep going. There you go. And I would have cropped it right to that last window that you see the diagonal shadow going on.
I can't move it anymore.
Yeah. But that would have given us see, there you go. There's an idea. So you crank the contrast really high, so you got really blacks, really good whites, and now you've got a diagonal of really interesting texture with a diagonal of smooth pattern, and I think it'd work really well. I think.
Okay, so I do like it more right about in here, like that. That's just me though. With this coming all the way up to the edge of the frame.
Yeah.
This is the type of image that I would sit and play with for probably 30 minutes, just trying different things till I found something that really grabbed me.
Right.
I think the potential's there. I really do.
Good eye. All right, let's switch off to another one of the highlights. If my
I have
mouse.
a feeling I know why she didn't say what building it is. That star looked like the Star of David. That might be an Israeli consulate.
You never know. Never know. There was another one. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, this one. The Stingray from my man Portis. Pattern, yeah, sure. This right here is
that's a real stretch.
It's stretching. It's stretching.
It's a stretch, but
sorry, Michael.
It's a pretty shot.
On this one.
It's a pretty. I still think it's a pretty
shot.
It's
a pretty shot, but it's a stretch for the.
Again, I think if he cropped it down just for the vent, it'd be really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just do the vent. Whoops.
Did we lose him? No.
You need to do his Porta 16:9 on that.
Why not that? That's how he rolls.
Yeah, but it doesn't count till you got sun flare. So. You see how it's got the shadows?
Yeah, if he cropped it like that, that'd been perfect.
That looks good that way.
Yeah.
Come on, Portis. Come on, man. Get it together.
And crank the exposure so you get some of the shine back on the chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he have like Snapseed on that phone and stuff?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? You mentioned Snapseed. We talked about Pixlr earlier this week on the iPhone and Android, and he's like, "What's the point of it?" And I'm like, "It's the same thing."
I've been trying it, and it's got some good stuff, but I keep going back to.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I keep going back to Snapseed because Snapseed is fast.
Mm-hmm.
The damn thing just works.
Yeah, it does well. It does. No, but he was more like, well, why do you have these editors on your phone? I'm like, it's the same reason you use Snapseed. And I know you use Snapseed because you've mentioned it 50 times.
Yeah, he does.
Like, what are you talking about, dude?
He's not a purist.
We love you, Portis. Maybe.
Speak for yourself.
All right, now this one here, we got a couple people with seven votes. This is one of my favorites here. Not sure what it is. I guess it's just PVC.
It's PVC conduit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a.
That's what I assumed.
Probably at. Could very well be at somewhere like Home Depot.
Yeah, he's on Lowe's or something.
And just took a picture.
So the funny thing is about 4 years ago, I took a picture almost identical to that.
Mm-hmm. So you like this, in other words?
I do like it. I think it's a little flat.
Flat?
It's flat, dude.
There's no
contrast. There's no black points.
Oh, okay. Flat far as the tones and colors.
Right.
Okay.
Right. All right. I mean, it's crying out for a texture of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Because I was going to say, it looks like it almost has some type of a curve the way... if you see
some kind of
my mouse
but just might be the distortion from being so close to it.
Possibly.
But it's definitely a pattern. It's definitely a fun one.
Now, anything you guys would do different? What about you, Mr. Knight?
Up the contrast so that there would be some depth into those pipes. I probably would have cropped it also so that those blank spots that are not pipes.
Like right there, like right about there.
Yeah. I really would have made it all pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But and up the contrast some so that when you looking within those pipes, you get that real sense of dark depth to it.
Depth, yeah.
Maybe I would have tested a flip to black and white to see how that may have acted out. You could also maybe do a little bit, maybe try grunge on it to see how that would affect it, see how it would come out, kind of play with it a little bit. It's one of those photos that there's a lot potentially going for it and working within it, so you can do a lot of clever things with it to kind of work with it a little bit more.
Mr. King, your thoughts?
I almost have to agree with everybody with that. Flip it to black and white. I would bring the contrast up. And that kind of stuff, because the way you got it cropped right there makes it look a lot better. It was
that looks good that way.
It looks good before, but now that everyone mentioned about the cropping, it does look a lot better that way.
See, slowly but surely, I'm going to convert you guys to the black side.
Right. You know, I've been on. I told you.
That's
I've been
right.
on a
I
little
need to get
kick.
my voice going here. You know.
I told you I've been on a little kick with taking the whole black and white and you know, or what did you call it, grayscale, but then crank it up a little bit. Seems like my last couple of shots I've been curious about doing that for whatever reason. Now
Nothing wrong with curiosity.
And this shot comes from Steve Graham. I don't recognize your name from previous challenges, but I appreciate you submitting.
He's been in the community for a while.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't recognize him from any challenges.
Samsung.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
HDR file name.
Snapseed runs on it, so load her up and let her rip.
Good job. Good job. All right. One more before we get to our winner. We're going to call somebody out here.
What else is new? No!
Rolling.
We gonna call out our moderator, Mr. Robert Knight, one of our moderators here.
Looks like teeth.
Yeah, and first I looked at it on my phone, just as like I was in passing or whatever. And when I first saw it, I was in the amusement park, you know, riding roller coasters. So the first thing that came to my mind was roller coasters, and then I looked again, I was like, that's not a roller coaster. That's
for somebody it was.
Yeah.
If
I'm not mistaken, I can't tell if that was a Sherman or a Patton tank.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, he says. All right. I like this one, Robert. It's somewhat abstract, but I dig it, and I don't think there's anything I would change on it myself. The teeth or whatever the track is here. I mean, it's so evenly lined up, you know.
Yep.
Well,
he's got the spacing right on the bogies.
Yeah.
Those are the wheels for those who don't know tanks.
Yep.
But what's kind of cool about to me is so you've got the four bogies on the bottom, and then you got that one little idler in the upper left. Kind of adds on the other side you got negative space, and on the other side you got the actual little idler bogie there. I just really like that. It's just kind of a little visual unbalance that kind of makes the picture interesting.
What you call it? Visual tension previously, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well,
I spent probably 30 minutes working on this, testing out different things, because I almost flipped it to black and white. I did flip it, and I took it back. I was like, no, that's not going to work.
I like the color in this. I like the greens and the blacks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of grungy looking. Even, I mean, I don't see a filter.
You could have stepped up the grunge a little bit more.
Yeah, that I thought about that, but the one thing that I was working that I didn't want to lose was, and what I noticed when I flipped it black and white, in that center part right there at the bottom of the track.
Yeah.
Not at the bottom of the track, but right there in the suspension where you see that CAD, and then there's that slope of the white there. Black and white blew that out very badly.
Really?
And so it was almost like it became a solid line almost.
Right here?
Yeah.
Now, whose black and white conversion did you try?
I'm working in light zone, so I did a high heat filter and tried to kind of.
Does light zone have the colored filters that you can apply? The reds, the blues, the yellows, and the greens?
They have some palladiums, and then they do have some yellow brown.
No. These are actually in the old days of yeah, you like that, of shooting black and white, you would actually screw a colored filter onto the front of the camera lens, knowing that it would crank up the contrast or it would filter out the blue because you were shooting something that was too blue. You know, you could actually adjust the tonality by use of these filters.
Okay.
And a lot of software doesn't include them anymore, but some do, and some they actually work right. And and as you try each one, you'll see different levels of contrast and tonality show up or go away depending what color you're playing with.
Okay.
So I don't know if Light Zone has it, but it'd be interesting to see if they do.
They don't. Maybe I'll have to look in on Perfect Match 8. They may be in there.
Okay. I know some of the phone apps I use has it, and then when I'm shooting, if I'm really going to do a conversion in black and white, I drop it into Photoshop and I use Silver Effects, Silver Effects Pro. And they have it. And they have also got something called structure, which lets you actually play with the tonality contrast. So you can micro adjust the contrast without turning it to a crunchy mess like you get with just sharpening.
Right.
Yeah.
What I've had to do is it allows me to flip in grayscale and GIMP, and then of course Snapseed has the black and white in there.
And they have the filters too, by the way.
Right.
Snapseed's got the filters.
And if I start in GIMP, I flip the grayscale, and then I have to go into the curves option to really adjust, how dark the blacks are, and then just enough highlights. And sometimes I can screw it up, man, if I don't move that mouse just right.
People, the problem with a lot of software is they take the easy way out, and their idea of a conversion is a desaturation of color. Mm-hmm. And that's really not what black and white's about.
Right.
Now, one of the reasons this was an easy photo to work with, this was really a photo shoot for me. I spent probably 45 minutes at this tank, but I had my tripod with me, and my tripod has a level on it.
Attaboy,
yep.
So I set it, made sure it was level, got my spacing, and just really kind of took my time with it. And got the snap, and then once at home, it was kind of just working with the picture itself, and the teeth idea kind of came while I was playing with that. I started cropping to kind of get in. It was like, I cropped it down at times. I was like, wait a minute. Those look like teeth. That looks cool.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. Is like, what was your approach on this? Was there a wider version of this shot, or did you?
Yes, the original shot is a lot wider. The original shot includes the top and bottom of the track. Let me see if I can pull that up, and I'll show you, because the crop wasn't too severe, but it was a pretty heavy crop.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. I would like to be more at the business end of that tank.
But of course you would, King.
And I think the tank is a Sherman, I believe.
That's what I saw someone say it in one of your posts.
Yeah, because I did a post of the whole tank, because it's actually also an Ingress portal.
As I said, it looked like a Sherman and the patent are almost identical.
Well, Mr. Port is trying to join. It looks like his bandwidth crapped out on him. Come on back, Portis, when you're ready. And that's him typing to me.
Link to watch.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
He wants to see if we're talking about him.
Of course we're talking about him. He's not here.
Like, what does he expect, dude?
Screen share coming up.
All right.
Okay. But, there's always Portis.
Right, so this is the original picture.
Oh, so you had quite a bit to work with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, Robert, what's really cool about this is I can tell just by looking at it, you shot to the right. And what I mean by that is the picture is slightly overexposed to get the shadow detail, with the intent of bringing the black points back in post, which is what you did.
Right.
That gives you the best detail and the best clarity on a smartphone.
When I shot this, and I went to this site not at the time I planned, because I've been kind of monitoring it and monitoring the time of the sun and everything.
Sure.
And knowing how the tank faced from visiting many times while playing Ingress.
Of course, Ingress.
And I knew that actually 430 would provide me the best light, the proper light. But it was the same day I had off, so I got the car worked on, and this was not too far down the street. So after getting the car out, I got there about 2:30. So the sun was at a little bit higher point. And so some of the other pictures didn't come out as well as this one, but the sun wasn't too high.
Yeah, no, this worked really well. You get just enough shadow to be interesting, but I can see all the subtle detail.
And
right now I'm doing comparison between this one and your processed one here.
Yeah, the other reason for the crop was because of the stick.
Oh, yeah.
Now, see, a real man would have edited that out on the phone.
I looked at the stick. I'm like, really? You really? I forgot.
Forgot to move the stick.
What happens to that one gust of wind that normally comes by?
That's right.
Dang, very nice, man. Very nice.
I can kind of flip it for you because this is before and this is after.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Nicely done.
Good job. Appreciate you showing that one. Let me flip
Well,
it here. All right. Now, let us take a look at this week's winner. Dun, 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 dun. Nicole H. up in Michigan. Using her S5 Pixlr Express, sharpen it, contrast, touch up, of course,
Boy, that's an interesting
and
topic.
vibrance with Photoshop Express inverted. I have no idea
That
what
is a tire, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah. I have no idea what that is. It looks like some type of tire, but I mean, I guess if she inverted the colors, that's.
Well, it looks like a tire that's got chains wrapped around it.
Well, she works at a quarry.
That's
there you
one
go.
of
Yeah,
those
that's right.
monster
There you go.
trucks that
Yeah.
they use for the quarry. That looks like one of their tires.
But isn't that a chain wrapped around it?
No,
No.
their tires are so big, but they have so much teeth on them because they got that tire is probably taller than she is.
All right.
Well, that may not be saying much depending how tall she is.
Well, some of those tires are about 10 feet tall.
Good
That's tall.
grief. Good grief.
Well,
Well,
the
now,
truck
now
itself.
the inverted.
Right.
You know what the inverted is, don't you?
Nuh-uh. Explain.
So it literally flips the. So you remember in the old days when you had a nail?
Uh-oh. We lost you, Sweeney.
Uh-oh. Sweeney just died.
Picture.
There you are.
If you were to see,
Sweeney, can you repeat your bandwidth cutout? Can you start over?
He can't hear us.
Blast.
Oh, if you look at him, he's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen now. I'm going to
That's
give him
what
a boot.
happens when you mess with the dark side.
Yeah.
I'm going to boot him. Come back in a second. There we go. Just come back in a second, Sweeney. Actually, I'll just do another
Oh,
invite.
shit.
All right. When he talks about inversion, I think about when I'm in the editor and it basically turns every color to like an opposite version of it. Usually, like your reds go to some sort of like a purplish color or something like that. Is that what you guys think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I find Sweeney?
It's really dealing with the color tonality and color bands as well, but Sweeney will be able to better explain it once he gets back in.
Holy crap, it's not
If he
letting me
come
find
back
him.
in.
I'm trying to invite him back in, and what kind of mess is that?
Oh, I bet you when you booted him, it permanently kicked him out.
That's not cool. Let me see, add people. Let's try this again. Michael. He's under Mike Sweeney. There it
Right.
goes. Let's try that again. Add. Okay. Did you guys hear the little chime?
No chime yet. Oh, here he comes.
I just heard it on my phone. That's about it.
Well,
It says Mike Sweeney joined the hangout, but he.
This is riveting TV. I tell you that.
yeah, so join. So
This is typical. Google. They can't get anything right.
No, this ain't Google. This is bandwidth. There he is. Let's try it now.
Okay. 5, 4, 3. There he is. I heard it go click.
Well,
Well,
where is he though?
Okay. Anyway, well, we'll give him a second to come
Earth
in.
to Sweeney. Earth to Sweeney. Come in, Sweeney.
With this one here, again, I didn't know what this was. I assumed it was a tire, and then part of me was thinking, is this some type of a cylinder, like an old industrial dryer? You know, the big cylinders that's in those things. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I had no idea what this thing was. But she does have an intricate pattern on here, which was subject matter.
Yep.
Very well done.
And that truck, that's about the size of, off the ground, it's about the size of a 10-story building.
You kidding me? There's no way.
No. Okay. If
That's
you want to
scary.
think about the size of these, Ant, you remember the old metal Tonka trucks, dump trucks?
Yeah.
Those were based on these. Now imagine your little green army man standing beside your old metal Tonka truck. That's the scale.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine that. What are they? What kind of engines are in these things? What are they fueling these things with?
They're what they are basically.
Who was driving this thing? Paul Bunyan? Ain't no regular
No,
man driving that.
There's one person they have. They use locomotive engines for the it's like a locomotive. It's a diesel electric that runs traction motors that and each one of them are individually driven, and they have a regular steering wheel, they have accelerator and everything, and the ditch digger is even bigger than it is. The bucket, you can put a house in it. A full house, and it's
You can put a house in the bucket. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. Insane. All right. Well, that was Nicole's shot. Congratulations to you, and I believe she's watching this evening. She's at work. Excuse me. She's a workaholic, but man, she's always sending in some insane shots with her S5. So of course, Nicole, you know you will be tasked with making a challenge this week. So hit us up.
Would you mind showing 2 shots that I found very interesting?
Let's go ahead. What you see?
The one with 6 boats right there, right at the top of your screen.
That one, yeah.
In the middle there. Yeah, this was done with. Oh, he actually did this with his S3. I thought this shot was very cool. Very well done.
Nice. That is nice.
You've got multiple patterns going on here, from the sides going down. Then you have the skylight, and then you also have the orange, the color.
Mm-hmm.
And then the contradicting lines in the distance. So I really think he did a very good job of picking up on patterns. Unfortunately, because he got up there a little later, he might have actually won this.
He might have won it, yeah. You know what's interesting about this is just as you said, contradicting. You know, they're contradicting patterns, but they all seem to work together for this one here.
Right.
You know, I like with these diagonals right here. I mean, I'm assuming he cropped this thing down, because I like this long vertical crop like that.
Right.
Looks really, really nice.
Now, the one thing that I would say is a little off is because he's making it so symmetrical, on that crop, he didn't quite catch the balance on the right side as he did on the left side to balance it out completely evenly.
Oh, yeah. That looks like it would have been hard to get it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he tried to catch it a little more over here, it wouldn't have been as rectangular. It would start to.
And I would have tried to make that orange pop a little bit more.
There's a little more saturation.
Yeah.
All right. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
And then there was Kimberly McNair. She had one of a child on like overhead bars.
Oh, I didn't see that one, Kimberly. Oh man, how come I saw her other two? I didn't even see that.
Really neat photo of pattern because of the depth going away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the change in direction. You know, and the child was just something added extra there, but really those bars, and then they kind of framed the sky in between the bars. I thought she did a really good job of composition.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that, guys. My wind's really picked up. I can hear my gate wasn't secured good, and it was flopping back and forth, and I wanted to put my lawn chairs up.
Be safe, man.
Good grief.
It's bad out here.
Now, is there anything, Mr. King? Can you see the shot from Kimberly?
Yeah. I love it.
I know what I would have done differently. Again, it's just got some more saturation on it. I liked seeing a big blue sky. I'm sorry.
I would have done more saturation, and I might even cranked up the contrast a little bit to kind of give it a more pop.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't do any edits on it, but this is still very, very nice.
It's very nice.
It's a very good starting, very well composed, very good starting photograph.
All right. Thank you again, Miss Kimberly. All right, now, is there anything you guys would like to share? I'm gonna turn on screen share. I have a shot that I'll get into here in a little bit, but
Yeah,
I
let
want
me
to
go
give you
back
guys
to
a
our.
chance to share some of your shots that you submitted this week.
Well, I only submitted that brick wall.
Oh, you didn't get a chance to do any others
Oh yeah.
outside of the challenge?
Oh, outside the challenge, yeah, I got some nice stuff. Let me go to screen share, get the right one. There.
There you go. We got you.
And the cannas, they survived the fire, believe it or not, and being pounded by the fire hoses. I didn't think they were going to make it, but they've come back, and that was just one of them. And let me get this stupid hide your sharing screen. And there's my other one.
Oh, hanging on to dear life.
Yeah. But yeah, my for the challenge, I did the brick wall. That's right. I saw bricks and said, and let me just put another brick in the wall. There's the tank.
Good stuff. All right. So now, hold on, right before I come to you, King, with your brick shot, I thought about there was an app that Sweeney used to use a lot. I think it was called Mextures. Have you ever used that?
I've heard of it. Let me go to it. Come here. Event. It's going to take just a few minutes because I must be downloading a video podcast, because my bandwidth is getting really sucky. Patterns. And where's my brick in the wall? Here it is.
Sort of, it doesn't look like you have a lot of light on it. So
well, we've had a lot of shades and everything. I tried to punch it up a little bit. Here we go. Share screens.
You see, when I'm looking at it, it's. You got it on your screen there? There you go. All right, let me focus on you. When I'm looking at it, I was like, man, these are the softest looking bricks I've ever seen.
They are.
They don't look as rigid and rugged as a brick normally looks to me. That's why I was like, I wonder if he used something to sort of tone down the actual texture.
In fact, I punched them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they are soft. It's almost a pink. It's kind of a sand color. It's real. It's a real. What I'm trying to say, a real
like
washed out,
warm toned. Okay.
What they were trying to do again. This is just a building. It's the one that burnt down.
Right.
And they tried to mimic a building that's been here for years, so they used as much of a washed out brick they could find.
Okay. I got you. They're just making an effort.
Mm-hmm. And it still looks too new. But no, that's all it was. And I saw the bricks and said, we've had bad weather. We've had if it wasn't bad weather, we've been fighting high heat warnings where we've had upper 90s with humidity, with heat index of 110 to 120. So I have not been out that much shooting because it's been too miserable.
Yeah, you don't want to get out there. I feel you. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the full view of my man's tank here.
All right, so that's the whole picture there of the tank.
Yep.
Just a good view. So I believe they decided it was a Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Sherman.
Okay.
As I said, I would love to be on the business end of that.
Unfortunately, the land that it's on, that the ambit that it's at, the land, I don't know if the whole building is for sale or the land or what's going on, but something's for sale. So I don't know how much longer it's going to be there.
I would imagine some kind of person that collects old army stuff will probably go after that, because that would be to really restore it, to really bring it back. Would be so cool to see it running.
Used to have, at one time, it had some orange packs on the front of it. but they've taken those off. They must have been put on for like a celebration or something.
Yeah.
But these are a few of the latest pictures. This is not edited or anything, so I haven't worked with these yet. But we have some hibiscus out in the backyard.
Wow, that's not edited?
Nope.
Damn.
That's straight out of camera. No editing yet.
I can't wait to see what you do with that one.
So these are in bloom, and they bloom purple, white, and then there's a deeper blue that'll also pop up. And the blooms only last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are beautiful plants. But you're right. They only last for just a very short period of time.
So I really like that one. The one before that.
It's because you did kick him out. He's not allowed back in.
Oh.
Damn. Well, that's my bad. I thought they would let him come back in if I did an invite. Jeez. Okay, my bad, Sweeney. Sorry about that. Back to you, Robert. Go back to the next shot.
Okay.
Nope, after that one. Now this one here, I didn't care. I don't care for this one as much. It sort of looks a little dull on the tonality.
It'll probably be one, if I'm going to work with this shot at all, it's going to be a very, very hard crop to where I just get this and then I'll work on color boosting, but it might also just turn into a throwaway shot because I don't like that it lost focus here on the stamen in the middle. The clouds kind of rolled in temporarily, so it took away a lot of the light that I did have for this shot, and I was mowing the yard at the same time, so it was kind of like, oh, those are nice. Stop, snap pictures, and trying to do the yard.
Of course.
It was one of those impromptu photo shoots.
You know you got to get that work done, but you just can't let that pass by.
But with the sun that was out when it was definitely out, and yeah, I could have ran back inside because I know what Mike is going to say. Use your reflector to put more light in the middle.
Yes, boy, have you heard that?
I didn't do it.
Boy, have you heard that? But you were mowing the grass, so you didn't have your reflectors in your pockets at that time.
No, but I was right outside my house, so I could have easily gone back inside and gotten it. So I know that would be one critique to put more light in the center there. But I think when I work with it and with the contrast to shadowing me, I can make it work to my benefit.
Right. That's gonna look good, man.
This one here is gonna probably be my favorite to work with. I'll probably do a couple of get probably at least 2 to 3 pictures out of this one picture.
Yeah, you can crop that down to a macro right there on the buds.
I'll do portraits 16 by 9.
Oh yeah, just to appease that dude. Seriously.
And then also, I'll probably get a nice square kind of Instagram pic out of it as well. Go with a full, just probably a 4x4 or something like that, crop on it, and then I'll do something else to see what I come up with. But those are the latest today. I've been wanting to kind of take some other pictures, but haven't really settled down into a mode yet. We had some stuff going around the house that I had to kind of stick around home a little bit more.
Right.
But there is a shot that I took that I don't think I posted it in this community at all. I gotta go to my 500. It's actually a shot that I started off the show with.
Nice.
Let's see here.
I got 3 that I'll show you guys that I need to play with some more. Just haven't had the time to do so, but I plan on this weekend.
I took a shot during we were doing a house tour. What I'll do is show the original, then I'll show the crop. Basically, I'll start out this way. No, I don't want the tank. I'm on it. Here we go. Actually, this one here will be going slightly in reverse because of how Perfect Match 8 saved things.
It was Perfect Match 8? I remember you discussing it before.
That is a free program that Perfect Match offers. It's standalone, but it also integrates with Adobe and several other products. Provide you different types of filters and some other abilities to adjust photographs. It's kind of very comparable to Light Zone, with some more flexibility in certain areas and a little bit less flexibility in other areas.
Okay. So there's going to be some give and take with just about with most apps anyway.
Right. This is the edited version of this picture. So this was done in Perfect Match 8. This is the before, and this is the after.
Wow. Talk about punching up.
So one thing that I did try this in Light Zone. I didn't like what Light Zone did to it, so I went to Perfect Match 8, and it seemed to it really punched the color perfectly. And the other thing,
in comparison to Light Zone just couldn't do it.
Light Zone didn't seem the thing that I could probably do it in Light Zone, but it did not overall. Like, I was able to really, in Perfect Match 8, I was able to really concentrate on the red and yellows because I have a red-yellow filter. And so I was really able to concentrate on that. When I did it in Light Zone, the cones there, I lost the detail because I wanted to up the contrast, because those came out really washed in the first photo,
right?
In the original here. So I wanted that to show really well. And when I did it in Light Zone, I couldn't get what I wanted. So when I went in the Perfect Match, it got me basically what I wanted. So there's a little bit of tinkering here and there, and Perfect Match also kind of blended out the background a little bit better. Oh, did you get him back?
Not yet. We tried. He's giving us an alternative address. We're trying that.
And then this is the photo I showed earlier with the bee.
Yeah.
Now, people may think I'm crazy about bees because I've got another photo with a bee in it, but he had his back turned, so he didn't see me.
Well, but even with that, Robert, a lot of times a bee really don't care because they're trying to get business done.
Yeah.
Their queen is giving them a task, and they're just trying to get business done. I've sat and watched bees I don't know how many times and tried to get pictures of them, but they move so much, and you get me personally, I get a lot of blur trying to shoot bees and flowers because of wind and because of them moving.
Perfectly still on this cone working, and we were walking by, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I just took my time, kind of snuck up on them, so I didn't, startle them with movement, and I was able to get him. And what I did, I actually did a crop on this to take out some of the extra noise here from the other blooms. And cropped it down to where this basically takes up the corner, working with my thirds.
By the way, that's a female bee.
True. Females do a lot of work.
The drones are the males.
At least they get to go out. All the males are locked down.
Such a nerd. Such a nerd. Well, appreciate you showing me those, man. Let me grab my 3 here before we get out of here. All right, we're going to do screen share. If I can find my shots. There they are. Okay, got them. So let me share my screen. This one here. I wanted to see what I could do with my phone while I was at the amusement park with the hardheads. And the first one I got was this one here. And I love it. But I need to play with it a little more. I really didn't mess with it too much while I was walking through the park. Pulled it up in Snapseed just to take a quick look, but I didn't do much of anything on it. But I liked it a lot, and I got lucky with the angle of this. And just as Mr. Bora said, punch it up. It should have some more saturation to see the yellows in these particular cars or whatever you call these things. I was scared it was going to blur out because you guys have seen these in amusement parks before. Them things are hauling ass when they're spinning around there. And I was just assuming I was going to get blur, and I was going to be okay with it, but it did not blur. A little surprised by that. How fast is the exposure? That's it there? 120. I can't even say that number. But that was with the HTC One Max. All right. And this one, a little more candid, and I did crop it down. Over here, I had a little more of the inside of the particular roller coaster and some grass and stuff over here. But I thought it would look better if I could crop it down and almost square it around these. I thought this one did pretty good considering this is an old school roller coaster, meaning wooden, meaning it's going to vibrate like heck the whole freaking time. But again, the camera, I got lucky with it that day. I didn't get a lot of blur and a bunch of noisy stuff going on with it. And the sunlight was helpful because you guys already know about the HTC being more useful in lower light, instead of going out in broad daylight. But having this done in the evening, because I tend to go to the amusement park later in the evening because there's nobody there, and you can get on the rides just over and over and over again and no crowds, But oh yeah, and of course it's cheaper too to go in the evening. So, but I got lucky on that one. And the last one, I wish.
Hey, look who's here.
There he is. He made it just in time. And now this last one here, I wish my finger wasn't in the way. This is another, just a gamble, trying to see what I can grab and be like Mike Sweeney with photographs. And he dropped off again. Dang it. With photographs on his amusement park rides and whatnot.
I love that picture of your finger.
Yeah, unfortunately my finger is in the way. I didn't plan on that, but I think if you give me another opportunity, I can pull it off. And being able to get it pretty much perfectly upside down if you look at the horizon and stuff.
As long as you don't drop the phone like you did one other time.
No, that other time I did not drop the phone. The phone wasn't even in my hands. It was in pocket, and it came out of said pocket. So no, I will not drop the phone. So I blame the pants or shorts or whatever the heck.
I blame him.
No, you can't do that.
Yes, you
can. Welcome back, Mr. Sweeney.
Did the ride operator give you a stern talking to?
Last year somebody said something to me. They said, be careful with your phone, and then another time somebody was like, sir, you can't have your phone out. And actually, that was the time that I lost it, when they said I couldn't have my phone out. Now that I think about it, because I stuck it in my pocket. But nowadays, Monday didn't nobody say squat to me, because half the time I'm battling just to try to fit into these seats. Number one, the last thing they worried about is carrying a phone.
It's called lose some weight.
Yeah, I probably could lose some weight. You smart ass. Shut it. But that was my three. I wanted to get Sweeney's take on these two in particular, because, like I said, he was sort of my inspiration. We'll go back to the first one. Can you see that, Sweeney?
Yep, I see it.
All right. Now, as we said earlier, my original concern was how much blur I was going to get, because this thing is moving extremely fast.
Sure.
But I was going to be okay with it. And I should bump up the saturation on it a little more, give it a little more life.
No.
Really?
No, I think the blues will go grain on you. If you want to give it more life, you got to bring up the shadow detail using something like Snapseed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can try that. I haven't played around with any of these yet. These were all just straight out the phone and
you know what I would try?
What's that?
I would throw the drama filter against it in Snapseed.
Ooh. Now, sometimes when I do a drama filter, I get like the noise is really.
Embrace it. Embrace it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take your word for it.
In the world of digital, people have gotten too concerned about how clean their images are, and they forget that the human brain likes random noise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, I'll give that a shot. And then this one was definitely a Sweeney inspired.
Pretty much.
I had fun with that, and the hardhead sitting next to me, he's like, "How do you do that? You don't drop the phone. Please don't drop your phone."
Please don't drop the phone.
Yeah, he was worried about the phone as much as I was, you know. But this is the same ride where I got a picture of him last summer, just screaming at the top of his lungs going down the hill. And I wanted to try to do that this time with the front-facing camera, but I have a different phone this go around, so it's a whole different feel and a whole different angle to try to get with that front-facing camera to come out right. So I said, screw it, and just try to see what I could get from a dramatic standpoint, either going up the hill or down the hills. I have another shot that's uphill on a different ride, but I haven't shared it yet.
Now you realize what I'm going to say here.
Let's hear it. I don't, because you can go a million different ways, bro.
You need a neutral density filter. So you could slow the shutter down and get the track all nice and blurred, but still get the hands, nice and sharp.
Mm-hmm. Because
saying.
now,
saying.
That makes sense. Because old girl's fingertips right here are a little blurred out.
Yeah.
It's a little blurred there too.
On something like this, a little blur is actually a good thing because it adds drama to the image, to the overall image.
So it implies motion as well?
Yep, implies motion.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but I had fun with that.
These kind of shots are a lot of fun. No doubt about it.
Looking forward to the next time I can, try something out like that. Before we get out of here, you got any shots you want to share? Did you get some toys? I want to say you got some new lenses, didn't you?
I got toys. I don't know if you can see that. That's an 18mm hunk of glass for my iPhone. Thing weighs almost as much as the phone does. And I've also got the 60mm telephoto version of the same lens. It's by Moment Lens.
Moment, that's right. Okay.
And let me see if I can get the screen share to work now.
Was this a Kickstarter?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
And they came through. That's not always clear that you're going to get what you ask for when you do this stuff.
True. It's a gamble.
There we go. All right. Let's see if I can share this out. I'm on Chrome, so, be kind. Since somebody had the audacity to boot my sorry ass off.
Man, I was like, come on.
Not even boot me, they injected me.
I said, okay, let me just kick him. Let me kick him out because it's just holding up bandwidth there. Maybe they'll let him back in, but damn,
you should be seeing my phone right now?
Yep, looks good.
All right, so this is actually iOS 8, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So what we have here is, let's show you.
And I'm taping this to send to Apple.
Okay.
So that's just wrong.
NDA.
So this is what the lens actually looks like mounted on the iPhone.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a beast.
Whoa.
It is a beast.
Did you see that one that
And there is a side shot.
Nice.
So that's the wide angle, and the telephoto is roughly the same size. It's a little deeper, as you might expect. And what I end up doing is I end up hooking my finger underneath the lens and cradling it to support everything. It's pretty insane. But I kept the lenses on for 2 days at Disneyland, walking around with the phone in my pocket, just kind of doing what I do.
Yeah.
And it held up. It didn't loosen up. It didn't get weird on me. It worked really, really well. So
yeah. Did you see that one? I think Sarah Lane showed it on Before You Buy. It's a case that you have all these different lenses that are in this big. It was a Kickstarter.
I saw that. I did see that, King.
And I saw that and said, that reminds me of what Sweeney had, but this thing was.
Yeah.
It was like everything looked like the size of a point and shoot camera with that lens carrier on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw those. I didn't think they were too high on it though.
Let's see.
No, they weren't.
I'm gonna see if I can bring up a picture. Yeah, just bear with me for a second here.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
I didn't kick him that time. I did not kick him that time.
Chrome kicked him out.
And now he's back.
So
I didn't do it.
So note to self: when you open a picture with Chrome, it does not open a new window. It will exit the window you're in.
You can tell
Really?
You can open.
Yeah.
You can tell it to open something in a new window.
A new tab.
That's
I
such
guess you got to set that up.
bullshit. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell it that.
Yeah.
I can't. I tried it. I can't run Safari because I got the beta Safari.
Okay. So there you go.
Oh, look at that, dude.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is the wide angle. This is what you get out of the wide angle.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to notice I did not adjust any of the vertical or horizontal on this.
Okay.
This is pretty much an uncropped image.
Love it.
And there's just very minimal distortion, even though it's pretty wide. Which is, I mean, there's a reason why you buy good glass in the DSLR world, and there's a reason why you buy good glass in the smartphone world, because you can get a really nice clean shot like this.
Makes sense.
Let me pull up a different one to show folks, because the other lens that comes in the kit. So here's the kit, and you should see that. Yeah. So you got the 18 millimeter, and then you got the telephoto, which is the 60. And you can see an outline at the bottom of the image. That little outline is the mount plate that actually sticks to your phone.
Okay.
And I have yet to knock it loose. I can't. I mean, you can take a heat gun to it or a blow dryer and get it off, they say. But just even the weight of the lenses is not pulling it loose, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The trick I found is that the Olo Clip case, which has actually got a swing top on it to put the Olo Clip lens on the phone, actually works with this mount plate. And what it does is it protects the actual mount from getting banged around when you put the phone down.
It is nice.
I'm not sure Olo Clip is intending you to do that.
Yeah. Now that you're going to have the lawyers knocking on your door.
Yeah, that's all right. So this is shot with a 60 millimeter, and it's also about a 50% crop of said shot. And look at the detail.
Yeah. Jeez, dude.
I mean, it's impressive what this lens can pull off with an iPhone.
Sweeney, this is beautiful, but you know what I'm ready to see?
What's that?
One of your moon shots with that.
It's coming, dude. It's coming.
What kind of moon shot?
Yeah. The ones that's all over his books.
Yeah, that one. So that's, I mean, and I got one more. I'll bring up a different one, because something that's near and dear to all the DSLR shooters, and they always bitch about the smartphone can't do depth of field. Well, you guys can suck on this one. Because when you do it the right way, depth of field, baby. Depth of field.
Yeah, look at that.
So it turns out the 60 millimeter is damn near perfect for a portrait lens on the iPhone.
Look at that.
Doesn't distort the face. Really sharp, and you get a nice depth of field. It's not the bokeh that everybody likes to talk about, but you know what? It's damn nice for a smartphone.
Oh yeah.
It is. That's a smartphone.
And the only thing I would say is that you have to use a third-party app that lets you split focus and exposure, because you've got to be able to lock the focus down, because with these two actually with the telephoto lens, it wants to do a little hunt and search on the focusing. It doesn't quite know where to focus, so you got to tell it, tap the screen, put the focus where you want it, and then life is good.
What app did you use on that one?
That was ProCam 7.
ProCam 7.
That's a good app.
I actually I shoot with PureShot because I like the JPEG better, but ProCam I like the interface for the split focus and exposure better than I do PureCam. So it really depends what it is I'm trying to do at the end of the day, and I bounce between the two apps often.
Nice.
So
those are two lenses from Moment in their
Moment. Now, that little hunk of glass and metal will set you back $99. These lenses are not for the casual iPhone shooter.
Yeah.
They are for the enthusiast.
Well, it's an investment,
It is. It is. You're buying into the system when you buy that. It's not something you're going to throw in a drawer a month later and say, yeah, it was only $12.
All right. Very
I'm gonna
nice.
wait. I'm gonna get that kit, but I'm gonna first wait for the iPhone 6 to come out. Then I'm gonna get that kit put on that because it's supposed to have even better camera.
Now, they do have a kit out, or it will be available for some of the Galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't follow as closely as I probably should have, but they're not ignoring the Android folks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of they are.
It don't bother me.
Well, I mean, the Galaxy seems to be the more popular one out there, so I guess that's why they're going.
This is one of those times I say, I got mine, and I'm a happy man.
Yeah. don't care about the rest of
my whole Galaxy tirade is a whole nother show story for another time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Those were the days of yore.
What I wish I could do is my 5D Mark I's lens, put it on the iPhone.
Yeah, I hope you could do that.
Well, you can actually shoot through it.
Get some gaffer's tape.
Yeah. Hey, gaffer's tape will solve a multitude of sins.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to let you guys do your sign off and let everybody know where on the World Wide Web we can find your shots and any other thing you'd like to share. We'll start with you, Mr. King.
I can be found at anywhere as Michael King 4023, no matter where it is.
All right.
And
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere this weekend, so I'm going to be here.
All right. We appreciate you coming out and hanging in there with those storms, bro.
It's a thundering out there. The lights hasn't blinked yet.
Okay.
The worst is coming through tonight at 1 a.m.
All right.
I got to jump real fast, so I'm
All
going
right. Well, Mr. Sweeney, we see you soon. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet, on Twitter, Light Images. You can find me on my website, msmedia.me. You can find me on iTunes under Michael Sweeney. So, buy my book.
That's right. Get the book.
It's less than a
folks.
cup of coffee, and it'll show you how to use this fancy lens you're going to buy.
Damn right. Damn right.
All right. I got to jump.
Appreciate it, Mr. Sweeney. Take care.
Thanks,
I'll
guys.
see you.
Next up, Mr. Knight, where can we find you and some of the work that you have here out there?
You can find me on Google Plus, Robert Knight -Tech, and you can find me bugging out on 500pics, Robert_Knight.500pics.com.
Damn, look at that shot, dude.
And my work is for sale.
Yes.
Starving artist.
You said this is on 500px, right?
Everything.
You
I got
said
something for
500px? Good stuff. Appreciate you coming out and being another one of our moderators. Actually, all three of you guys. All right. Lastly, myself. I am Ant Pruitt. You can find me here on Google Plus, of course, under Ant Pruitt, as well as on Twitter at the tag name of I Have No Life, spelled as you see it right there on the screen. You know, I do have a YouTube channel, and I do post some stuff up there periodically. There's going to be more and more coming with that, by the way. I had a nice little tear of some video dailies highlighting a few things from the world of smartphone photography. Be sure to check out my channel there, and just go to YouTube, look up Ant Pruitt, and you'll see a nice little slew of videos that's highlighting some apps and highlighting a lot of these guys here in the community, some of the stuff that they've shared too. So be sure to check that out and subscribe. Thank you to everyone in the community for your participation this week. This challenge was a great success, as usual. And congratulations to Nicole H. up in Michigan. And I know she's at work right now. I appreciate you watching. Even while you're at work, we won't tell your boss. Thank you for the guys joining in tonight and discussing everything that we looked at and you know, sharing more tips and tricks on how to make you a better smartphone photographer. Be sure to check us out on smartphone-photographers.com, as well as if you're just interested in getting in the community, hit us up here on Google+. Allow us to do a little brief background check on you to make sure you fit in, because we don't want no looky-loos. It's not that kind of party, folks. And we'll see if we can get you on in. Thank you for watching, and look for us next Thursday at about this time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you next go-round. Y'all take it easy.